Hello, and welcome to Instant Experts. I am your host, Michael Busch, and I am very excited to be here and to present this group of just amazingly intelligent and talented experts in a wide variety of fields. And we'll mute myself. Great. And um, this is through Imposters Theater, as you know, because you're on our YouTube channel. Good job for that. I am your host, and how this show is going to work is each pair of improvisers has a presentation that they have never seen before, and they're going to present it to you, the audience. As they're presenting, if you have any questions for our experts, please drop them in the chat down there. And after each presentation, I will do a little Q&A with our experts based on your questions. And I think that's all you need to know. So let's jump right into it, and let's bring out our first two experts. Hello, Mrs. Moore and Professor Smidgen. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Excited to be here.
And we're excited to have you, Professor. You look a little on edge this evening.
What? On edge? I mean, you know, life's pretty wild.
That is true. Life is pretty wild. That's very true. Mrs. Moore, how are you feeling this evening?
Oh, I'm just fabulous. I had a nibble on a pot brownie right before this presentation, so I'm feeling great.
That's great. That's wonderful to hear. And you two you two work together, correct?
Well, today we do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we work. Yeah. It's a good partnership.
Yeah, the college finally started to allow parents to come in and help present certain kinds of lectures when we feel the professor isn't doing a very good job in earning our tuition dollars.
Ooh, okay. I sense a little bit of tension here. I'm excited to hear about your subject here. So let's just jump right into it, okay? Take it away, Mrs. Moore and Professor Smidgen.
Well, Professor, I don't know how to work any of this technology, so I'll just leave you to start things off here.
All right, that's not a problem. So our our slideshow is called Maximize Your Brain.
Which is something my Johnny certainly did when he earned all of those scholarships to get into your school, your very expensive school. He maximized his brain.
It is a very expensive school, that's true. Let's discuss maximizing your brain, which is hopefully what higher education does. Let's go to slide 2 here.
Oh, already. Okay, I'm with you then.
Well, slide 1 is just the statement, really.
I wondered really how much a student would learn from that intro, but really I'm all ears. Now, on this next slide, we're talking about your brain explained. Oh man, as a mother and watching a child's brain just grow and develop, I certainly could consider myself one to call in to help describe the answers to these questions. What is your brain exposed to?
Yeah, we'll start at the top of the inverted cone or upside down cone. It's not technically inverted, it's just upside down. But the first thing is, what is your brain exposed to? And for most of it, it's stress.
Well, I mean, if you have the right support system, learning is just a joyful adventure. It turns into stress if you don't have the right kind of guidance and clear explaining as you're learning something.
Another thing that can relate to that is the second one in the cone here, which is, of course, people who are less stressed tend to have less of this next thing, which is awareness. Because when you become aware, everything is terrifying. Do you notice what's going on? That's the question. You're better off not, but it is important for your brain.
And certainly then, how do you interpret this stress? Do you interpret this stress as your responsibility? Is it the administration's responsibility? Is it your parents' responsibility? The ones who should be done with their job by the time the child leaves the home?
Well, you're bringing up some great points, which actually bring us into the next parts of the cone, which are perception, which is how do you interpret it? How do you interpret the things that are in your environment and what's coming at you? And of course, like you were just saying, that would bring us to a reaction, which is the second to the bottom of the cone, which is what do you do about it? What do you do when the administration of your school is breathing down your neck and you don't have tenure yet? What do you do?
What do you do, Professor Smidgen? Please tell everyone, all of these thousands of people listening and watching, what do you do under all of this stress?
I'm sorry, did you say thousands? I mean, yes. Well, I try to focus on what I'm teaching, which is important because the bottom of the cone is learning.
Yes, and what do I do about the stress? I take action. And yes, let's work together, Professor Smidgen, on the learning component here. What is the take-home message? Because the messages that have been coming to my home are, Mom, school's too hard, and the professor doesn't like me. And that's a problem because my son is incredibly likable.
Is this about me? Are we talking about me?
It's a general, I'm giving an anecdotal kind of thing here to help the audience relate.
Because I don't dislike any of my students, at least not on paper. Let's go to the next slide.
You may want to refer to your emails.
I try not to. So what does your brain need? This next slide is, your brain needs fuel. Now, the professors in the nutrition department tell me that that's called a carbohydrate. But for what we're talking about, it's going to be something different.
Like when my son gives me a call and he says he needs extra medication to be more productive. He needs some more study drugs. When I thought we had finished that chapter in his life, is that really the fuel my son should need?
Well, as a professor, I shouldn't be hearing anything about anyone's study drugs. Let's instead focus on the things that I think would help your son's brain. Things like Sudoku, puzzles, and reading. I have a calculator on here, which is practical, but won't expand your brain.
Oh, Professor, I think it's time for us to
jump to the next slide.
Yes, I think that it's time. Perception is key.
Yeah, what you said. Go ahead.
Thank you, Professor. I do have to stop and just say how much I appreciate you sharing your lecture time with me. I think this professor and parent partnership, the perception of it could seem kind of awkward. And I think that, you've just been really humble about the whole thing. So I've been noticing around me that I really belong here. I belong in the college lecture forum. This seems like a calling for me.
I mean, it could be. However, I will say that this slide is actually one I can't use in lecture in person because it has a 6 and a 9 on the same thing. And if I try to read that to my students, the lecture will be over. So
I don't understand why, Professor. Is there something wrong with that? The number 69.
You don't know about the number 69?
I mean, it is between 68 and 70, obviously.
Look, I'm not going to explain it to you. You're going to have to ask your son.
We do have another slide to attend to here.
Oh man, I did not think that slide through.
Memory tricks, Professor.
Oh yeah.
Help you to learn more. We have been a big mnemonic device family.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people say that learning is about accumulating knowledge, but in an academic setting, it's about meaningless memorization. If you don't meaninglessly memorize things, then the next thing you know, you come up to review, and it does not go well.
And truly, the visualizing the information, or just visualizing what you want to be in your future. It's so powerful. And then of course, the all important list. Write those lists down. Don't try to keep it in your brain.
Yeah.
You know, my son certainly cannot keep more than 3 items in his brain. So a list is important.
The average for a person is 6 digits in a sequence of numbers.
Well, and that's it, folks. That is as easy as 1, 2, 3. This partnership, Professor Smidgen, has also truly been easy as 1, 2, 3. Though I do wish you would just speak to me about this number 69 thing. I didn't earn a college degree, but I do find I'm capable of understanding higher level concepts.
It's not really a higher level concept. It's just, you know, it's just the shape that 2 people's bodies make when they. You know, I'm gonna stop. I think we're good. I think we've taught everyone everything they need to know.
That was on your slide?
What?
That was on your slide?
Not intentionally. It was just on perspective because they were seeing the numbers from different angles. I didn't think it through at the time. I'm sorry. Please don't tell Please don't tell the dean.
All right. Okay. Well, let's just move on from that, and let's transition into some Q&A from our audience. I think Mrs. Moore
Yes.
was an expert and also got some new information in that presentation.
Yes, I sure did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. We have a couple questions from our viewers. So this viewer wants to know if they don't want to actually read to enhance their brain, can their brain eat lesser brains and therefore gain the knowledge from those brains?
According to my son's video games, that is certainly a possibility. I have not seen that exercised in real life, but I would be open to that as future research.
Please don't eat any brains. Just please don't eat any brains. I don't need.
I mean,
no, don't tell anyone I said to eat brains. I don't need.
Professor, why are you against eating brains? In some parts of the world, it's a delicacy.
Because I don't have tenure. You can't say to eat brains until you have tenure.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. All right. Let's see. One viewer wants to know, would you suggest pot brownies as a brain food?
Oh, whenever I'm about to do something that is going to require strenuous intellectual activity, absolutely. It just frees up those synapses. Certainly. I have my own secret study recipe that I used to make for my son.
Oh, fantastic. You'll have to share that with us, Mrs. Moore. And Professor, I know you're against eating brains. Are you also against eating pot brownies?
I'm a college professor. I'm legally required to eat pot brownies.
Interesting.
And,
all right.
And the use of drugs will expand your mind, but it can also lead to a lot of TV watching, which it does the opposite.
All right. Good to know. Let's see. Let's get, we have a viewer that wants to know if they, if they ascend this pyramid, there's cone, if you will, can they lift with their brain?
Well, you're supposed to descend the cone. You start at the top.
But if you flip the cone over, it is possible that you might even be able to do some superpower brain lifting with your brain.
But the bottom of the cone is the takeaway.
And then if you flip it, it's what you reach for. You climb toward it.
That is not the purpose of the cone.
But if you take the bottom of the cone, doesn't the rest of the cone fall over? If the bottom of the cone is the takeaway?
I mean, the cone is a graph, but I guess if it were a real cone, it might fall over.
Interesting. I feel like someone with tenure would have a better answer for that.
I don't have tenure.
Don't
tell my rookie board about any of this.
All right. Well, Mrs. Moore, Professor Smidgen, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on, and we hope you work this out. And Mrs. Moore, I hope your children get a great education.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's been nice being here.
Best of luck. All right, so we learned about the brain. Now let's bring in our next pair of experts here. Hello, Tom and Tom, welcome.
Hello, I'm
Hi.
Tom.
I'm Tom. Nice to be speaking with you, Michael.
It's nice to be speaking with you as well. That's a beautiful plant in the background there.
Thank you. It's a fern.
It's a fern. We grew it together on our fern farm.
Oh, you have a fern farm. That's amazing.
Yes, it's one of the many franchises that we have.
Oh, okay. What are some other franchises you have?
Tables, stuffed animals,
Pillows.
many pillows, all sorts of types.
Wow.
Plant
You're really
pillows.
diversified. That's fantastic.
It's
All right,
important.
well,
Yep.
yeah, I agree. All right, well, without further ado, let's get right into your presentation. I'm excited to learn from both of you, both of the moms.
Okay,
Well, great. Thanks,
well,
Michael.
let's go, Tom.
Tom.
Okay, so today we're going to tell you about one of our additional franchise opportunities, UFOs, and how to identify UFOs specifically. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now what is a UFO?
It's a aerial phenomenon that cannot immediately be identified or explained.
Such as a fern flying at you,
Yep.
hitting you in the face,
Pillows flying at you.
hitting you in the face,
Dog bones.
flying at you, hitting you in the face. There's many options for things that can be unidentified, flying and objects. So
Now, do they have to intersect? Do you need both?
do they need to intersect with something else and hit you in the face, Tom?
No. Yes, but
See,
also identified as
See, every UFO that I've seen has hit me in the face.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So that's how I identify them, usually is by face contact and how it feels. But one thing that I will note is that inherently, by identifying a UFO, it is no longer a UFO.
Oh, that is an interesting point.
Yep. So we're not actually identifying UFOs. We're making them not UFOs.
Now, is that something we want to be doing with our business venture here?
Well, see, the problem with that is that as you go through it, your business gets smaller because there's fewer and fewer UFOs.
Okay, so therefore you do not want to identify the flying objects.
So I'm seeing that there might be a gap in the franchisee experience, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting that. Well, let's go to the next slide and we can maybe see if we can sell some of this more so. Okay. Okay. So we're going to take it back and go historical for a minute, just for a little minute.
We know that is a trend that folks really like, the deep rooted companies, that have been around for a while with their big good history.
Yes, we've also been around since 1947 with our franchises. So
Yep.
that's a fun fact. Okay, so we start back in Roswell, New Mexico, 1947, same as us. And there's a disc craze. Now it's a fun fact because that is the year that we started our Frisbee selling company. So,
And I mean, unfortunately, they were banned.
they were banned. They were more of boomerangs, and they kept on hitting people in the face. A lot of my products hit people in the face,
Which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Unfortunately, the regulations have been becoming more strict, so you can't just
really prefer a deregulated market here. Tom and Tom do. But anyway, back in 1947, there was a disc craze continues. So that's really about just mania around discs. Yep.
It was a total frenzy.
It was a frenzy. It was an absolute disc frenzy. People were going disky all over the place. Yeah, and so, but what we found was everyone was seeing these discs. Some of them may have been our discs flying around, unidentified disc objects.
But we can't say if that's true or not.
We legally can't after the 1948 ruling. But yeah, they were unidentified, and people were really worked up about it, Tom.
Should we go to our next slide?
Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Okay. So there's many objects commonly misidentified as UFOs. Yeah, so we got Venus, we got lenticular clouds,
which they go this. It's like the cards that you pick up, and
it's like the card
3D
clouds.
We did those in 1950.
Oh, we did those in
remember?
1950.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
we have so many in my back
many
in my
products.
Rolodex. Yeah, we got so many that I have to think about. And then also the Goodyear blimp.
And that would be because it was identified as the Goodyear blimp.
Yep. See, that's the thing, is they're inherently misidentified, because if you had identified them properly, then they would not be a UFO. See, so that's where people go wrong, is they try to identify UFOs, which is inherently impossible. See.
Do we have any other commonly misidentified objects we can?
Yeah, so there's many things that are commonly misidentified as UFOs. For example, trees. Sometimes when you look up and you see a tree, you misidentify it. Right? Baseballs.
Very common one.
Yep. Rain, clouds. Oh, we got that
all
already.
Kinds of,
okay.
All,
yep.
Really, all kinds of. Clouds,
Or
not just
recently,
particulars.
drones. There's many things up in the sky. That's actually a big problem. Is there's a lot of things in space now. It's getting a lot of traffic. And we did play a hand in a lot of those satellites up there. So,
Yep, that was 1970.
1970. Yep, Tom, that was. Yep.
What else we got? Birds. Birds are another one.
Birds are another one. Yep, and they do often hit me in the face also.
Yeah.
So that's true.
It's really unfortunate.
Okay. Should we keep on going to the next slide? Yeah, let's take it off. Okay. So here's a fun one. This brings us back into the current times with recent sightings. Okay. So actually, as recently as February 21st, right?
Less than a month ago.
That was a month ago. Yes, that's true. So we've got a long cylindrical object moving really fast right over the top of us. Okay, and the FAA statement, which they always lie, for the record.
Oh yeah,
they are not. I would not trust an FAA. An FAA representative as far as I could throw him.
Really any government representative.
Any government representative.
Yeah.
No, we prefer small government here, big franchises. Yep. Yeah. So, but they're saying that they did not see any object in the area on their radar scopes. What is a radar scope?
I don't know.
Does anybody know what a radar scope is?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Audience,
so.
If you know, please.
If anyone could, somebody please explain to us what a radar scope is? Okay.
It's just things that go beep. Is that it?
Yeah, like a beeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some of those.
Those aren't relevant anymore.
Those aren't relevant. See, and we're all about the here and now, and the here and now is UFOs, right? We want UFOs because they're relevant. They're always happening, and they could be anything. But you have to identify them, or not, because you can't, but you have to try. That's what's important. And so other things that we can talk about with recent sightings. I know that we've had a lot of recent sightings, actually, of unidentified objects. Of course, we can't tell you what they were since they were unidentified, right?
But flying.
But they were. Yeah, flying they were, and they hit me in the face, and they were large. And
one may have been a football.
One may have been a football. We do, one of our franchise locations is next to a high school football stadium. So that does impact me on a pretty significant basis.
So to close, do we want to give folks kind of how they can buy into our franchise and get started, and materials they need?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. So the way that you buy is you go on to LinkedIn and you search Tom, and there's only the two of us, so it's pretty easy to find us.
Yep. So TOM and
THOM. That's Tom with an H and Tom with an O.
Yep. Tom. So not to be confused with the GPS Tom.
Oh, geez, that's why we're not getting the traffic we wanted.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Ray-Ban later.
We'll talk about that. Okay, well, thanks everyone for coming.
All right, Tom, that was absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much. And I'm sure you'll believe it, but our chat has blown up over here. So we're gonna just throw a bunch of questions at you, and just give us some fast and dirty answers here. All right.
Dirty,
Right.
dirty. Oh gosh.
We love fast.
All right. Let's see. Do you support a citizen-led storm of Area 51?
Yes.
We actually considered sponsoring.
Yep. Yeah, actually, when that does happen, I think it's likely we'll be a sponsor. So you'll see banners as they go by with our faces on it. Yep, that's gonna happen.
Fantastic. Sounds like a great marketing opportunity. Let's see. Robert wants to know, could he be a UFO?
Have you identified yourself as such? If not, then yes.
I mean, they do technically have a name here in the chat, so I think that's identification.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's gonna be a no from me.
That's fair. All right. How many UFOs have hit Tom in the face? Do you have a rough estimate?
Check here.
We
let me
do
check
keep
my
our
notes.
diary. Yeah. Tom keeps notes of every time that Tom gets hit in the face. It's very nice. So where are we at?
Oh, funny. This is actually similar to our last presentation, 69 times.
Fascinating. See how things just come together. It's like the universe is folding in on itself.
Serendipity.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Okay, so are frisbees that one does not know UFOs?
Yeah. I mean, I would say they have to be. Are they flying? Have you thrown them?
Fair question.
Does one ever really
Depends
know
on-
a frisbee though?
Wow, that's
Ooh.
beautiful, Tom.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a very good question. All right, so we'll leave that as a maybe. Let's see what else. Okay, now this person has seen a handful of UFOs, and all of them have been circular. And they want to know: do UFOs come in other flavors and styles?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh gosh, in 1967, I saw one that looked exactly like an ice cream cone. Might have been an
That's
ice cream.
fun.
Yeah.
Did someone throw an ice cream cone at you, Tom?
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's see. Next one. Their great grandpa was hit in the face by a frisbee in 1947. Can you confirm or deny this was your product?
No comment.
No comment.
All right, fair enough. Here's a very urgent question. This person thinks they know a real alien. What do they do?
Again, look us up, Tom, Tom, and
Tom, THOM.
on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn, add us.
Mhm.
We'll help you out for a small fee.
Now, to be clear, is LinkedIn your only social media?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's our only presence. Yep.
Yeah. We heard that's the best one.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. Okay, and let's see. How do you get in on this franchise? If someone wants to buy in here.
Oh yeah. Well, so you go on LinkedIn, you send us a note, and then you send us $3,000.
Sounds like a great deal. All right. Let's see. Are there USOs, unidentified swimming objects?
Now, we have that in development.
We are working on some, and I think you're gonna like what we've got.
Okay. All right. Little teaser for the future. Okay. We're having a developing story here. It looks like an alien was in the chat and was outed by the first person that said they knew an alien. Now they know two real aliens. How do they proceed from here?
Okay, well, the aliens should also contact us on LinkedIn. I mean, yeah, I think they should all pay us $3,000 though. I think that's what's most important here.
Sure. Yes. Fantastic. All right. And let's see. This person wants to start a rival company. Any advice?
No.
First of
No.
all, how dare you?
Yeah.
This is where we've shared some proprietary information with you today.
Yeah.
So this is really feels like
Tom,
a betrayal.
I am irate. This is highly irregular. Okay. This is upsetting to me because you think you know people.
You trust them?
You trust them?
Can't trust anyone.
I apologize. This is our audience, so I take full responsibility for that. We'll look into that commenter.
Tom is upset. Okay.
I'm so
seen Tom
sorry.
cry since 1983.
That's
I
a
haven't
long
been through
dry
that.
spell. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, one final question. What will your HR department's policy be on probings?
Well, I think you're looking at our HR department right here. So
We probing. We were still developing it.
Yeah.
It's definitely
probing around for ideas.
Probing into it.
Yep.
It will hopefully be covered under our insurance policy, but we're still working out.
Yeah, because that's the worst is when you have a medical procedure that's not covered under your insurance. Can we all agree on that? But probes for everyone. That's what we say.
All right, universal probings, fantastic. All right, well, Tom and Tom, thank you so much for sharing your diverse business interests here, and specifically your UFO brand here. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's move it right along. We have a couple of more pairs of presenters here, and we had. Did we lose our presenter there? Let's bring them out. Oh, all right, there we are. Okay, so we have Man Santana and is it Poggle Sleeve?
Poggle Sleeve, yes.
Poggle Sleeve. Thank you so much for coming, both of
Michael,
you.
I want to say real quick, you're starting off weird. You're making this weird. We're trying to come onto your show. We're trying to help these people learn some things, and you can't even get my man's name right.
Mm-hmm.
Please do better.
I appreciate.
Commit to being a better person going forward.
I appreciate that feedback, and I am here to learn as well. So, Poggle Sleeve and Man Santana.
You're still not saying it right, though. You're still not saying it right.
Oh, Michael.
Man
Very
Santana.
Disrespectful.
Poggle.
Poggle Sleeve. It's a long E.
Poggle Sleeve.
Yeah, but this hand motion is offensive. It's fine. It's fine.
It was like a trombone, like going with the.
Oh yeah, my name's a fucking trombone.
Okay.
It's musical. It sounds lovely.
The grossest of all the
air.
instruments. Okay.
Yeah, the most offensive of instruments, the trombone, because it's rusty. I cannot believe.
The penis of instruments.
I'm so sorry. Again, I'm learning here, so I appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much.
Okay,
You know
I
what?
honor your energy and you honor mine. So yeah.
We're not here to chastise Michael.
Yes.
We have a lot of energy flowing here, and I appreciate all of it.
Thank you.
So without further ado, I'm really excited to learn even more from both of you. So let's get right into your presentation, shall we?
Let's do it. Absolutely.
All right. So today me and Poggle Sleeve are here to talk about a guide to crying. You know, I've never said that word out loud.
You've never said crying out loud?
I've only read it. Is it
read it?
Crying?
Yeah, crying.
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 So it's not crying like karate, because that's how I've been saying it like my whole life.
It's not like that. Well, you've never said it before, so
no, in my mind I hear it as crying.
Crying. No, it's crying. It's an easy
crying.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm here to learn too.
Good. Hey, see, we're all here to learn. We're all
right. So this is a guide to crying.
Hey.
We're doing it. We're doing it. All right. Can we get that next slide? So, Poggle.
Yes.
Why cry?
I believe there are a lot of reasons to cry.
Okay.
Some good, some bad, some in between.
Okay.
I cry every morning and every day at 10:20 a.m.
Okay. That's a good time That's a good time to cry. I cry every night at 10:20 p.m.
How did I not know this about you?
We didn't, because this is something that I talk about all the time. Like, who has crying times? I didn't know that you had one too.
I do.
Pago, my man.
And we live on opposite ends of the planet. So
yeah, the North and the South Pole.
No, opposite end, but also so we're crying at the same time.
Yeah. So it's, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
This is good to know. I feel like our friendship is getting stronger and stronger every day that we learn something new about each other.
I would not call our working relationship a friendship, but I appreciate what you're saying.
What about a pre-friendship? Are we pre-friends?
Pre-friends?
Pasa friends.
I respect and honor your truth, but also I personally don't want to put that burden on myself to commit to knowing you post our endeavor.
Okay.
You respect that?
I respect that, but also if you read beneath where it says why cry, I'm gonna ask you, why not? Why not be my friend?
Wait, are you asking me why I shouldn't cry or why I shouldn't be your friend?
Why now? I want to know why you don't want to be my friend.
You're a grown man who does not wear sleeves to a professional Zoom call.
First of all, my arms are too big. You know what? Let's just go to the next slide.
Okay.
My arms are huge.
Are too big for sleeve? They don't make sleeves in your size?
I've never seen one.
They make shirts up to 8X, and you're telling me those can't fit your guns?
The rest of my body is small.
Man, Santana, the rest of your body is small?
The rest of my body is small except for my arms.
Go to Savile Row and get a suit made to fit your enormous arms.
It's
but
impossible.
You can wear sleeves to professional meetings.
There's not enough. First of all, what is professional? Right?
This. Our business that we make money doing. Let's go on to the next slide.
All
I don't have time to argue with you, man.
Styles of crying. Okay, so I'm gonna list the styles of crying, then we'll break them down. You have the tear up.
Okay, so that would be a slow build, like
am I saying that right? Pause. Tear up, like
tear up. Yes. How many words have you not said in your life?
I'm thinking because I was reading it as tear, like tear a piece of paper.
Tear
like
up. Tear up. That would not make sense. How would you cry like tearing a piece of paper?
Like this. Okay. But imagine instead of going.
I see it now. That makes sense. No, that's like one of those like kind of mad, like you're inhaling cries.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You know
like
what?
You just got a whooping.
Maybe it is
now
terrible.
You're trying to like catch your breath.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us about the SOB.
Okay, that's the sob. This is
Wait.
You are an expert on crying. These are a lot of words that you don't know. The sob is just full on, just oh, I've lost someone and I'm at the wake and I'm screaming to the sky. That's a full sob.
Like Marriage Story.
What is that?
The movie.
What? A movie?
Marriage Story, the movie with Adam, the Star Wars guy, Adam Driver. Marriage Story.
Familiar. I know Star Wars. I do not know this.
He cries. He's the first man I've ever seen cry. Outside of myself. I've never seen another man cry. Adam Driver in the movie Marriage Story cries. And I think it would be categorized as one of these SOB or sob cries.
Sob. Yes, that's not SOB.
He said some real hateful stuff to his I guess his ex-wife, you would call her. Yeah, he was like, if you died, I would be so happy and I would have my kid.
I'm not interested in seeing this movie based on
It's a good movie.
I am not interested. That does not sound fun.
He cries a lot in it.
Man, Santana, can you please break down the breakdown?
Yeah, I can break down the breakdown. How familiar are you with the mid 2000s?
I lived through them.
Okay. Are you familiar with a band Kill Switch Engage?
You know for a fact that is my favorite band. You know that is my favorite band.
So you're familiar with that type of music.
Yes.
What's the one part that everyone waits for? in those songs?
That is the breakdown.
Turning, turning, turning. But imagine that I'm crying the whole time.
Okay.
It's like an angry cry. You see what I'm saying? Kill Switch Engage is for people who like to cry.
Yes.
It's the ultimate crime music. You put that on, you give yourself 30 seconds for the breakdown to cry as much as you want, and then you can get back to your activity.
I agree. At Quill Switch Engage shows you should be crying as well. That is a mutual spot. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
and then as always, of course, there's the Karen, which is a high-pitched wail that you scream, cry out of indignance.
So is it like the
imagine a band
the Earth Song by Michael Jackson?
Magical. What?
The Earth Song by Michael Jackson.
No.
It's not like that.
It's like a and then but like there's crying. It's
so the Karen is a high-pitched wail.
Yes.
And hey, let's go to the next slide.
Yes.
When not to cry and when to cry. I'm gonna say always cry as much as you can.
Yes.
As much as your body will take. Cry.
When yeah, that's it. There's not a wrong time to cry. Next
and
slide.
when to cry is whenever you feel like it. Let's go to the next slide. Where to cry?
Let me ask you this real quick, man, Santana. Where's your favorite place to cry?
My favorite place to cry is the chip section of my local Ralph's.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Where's the one place that you won't cry?
The north rim of the Grand Canyon. You
know what? That's a good spot because if you get caught crying there, you get struck by lightning.
That is the rules. It's a salted water. You become a conduit for the lightning. Yes.
Yeah, that's where the trees come from. The trees are old people who cried, got struck by lightning, got turned into trees.
Yeah,
and now
we all know how trees are made. We all know how trees are made.
We all know how trees work.
Yeah,
it's fine. I hope you guys learned a lot.
It's a guide to crying.
Yeah, it's a guide to crying.
From two people who I've now decided will not be friends after this.
Oh man. You know what? I respect that though. Thank you, Pago Sleeve.
Thank you.
That's a bold statement to end on there. So Poggle and Man, first off, thank you so much. That was fascinating.
Michael, you're coming off real aggressive. Tone it down. It's like you want to fight me.
Thank you so much.
That's better.
I appreciate
You came off real aggressive. I'm just saying.
I appreciate the
shocking.
feedback, man. I appreciate the feedback, man, Santana.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned that you have a business together. What was the name of that business?
Comics Are Us. We sell comic books.
Yep. Unrelated to our research.
It has literally nothing to do with crime.
But when
and it's actually pretty successful.
Yeah, when you see a way to make money, you double down into it.
A lot of independent comics.
A hobby you both independently enjoy is crying.
Oh, I hate comics. Oh, crying? I love crying. I hate comics. Yes.
And I love comics and I hate crying.
Interesting, a little yin and yang there. Okay. Now let's get to our viewer questions here. This viewer says, "I cry every day. Why?"
Are you a nerd? Right, Pago? That's a nerd thing, right?
I mean, I cry every day, and so do you, as we've established. So
I cry every day at a specific time.
Oh, you mean loose crying, as I refer to it?
Yeah, like loose crying.
No, thank you. No. You plan your cries.
Yeah.
So regimented crying is acceptable, but loose crying is nerdy. Okay, that's great to know.
Yes, that is accurate.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Do you have time for other emotions like laughing time or yelling time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's life without laughter?
Yeah. Right? Who doesn't laugh at a set time every day?
Yeah.
For me, it's 4:30 in the afternoon.
Without love. I'm in a very committed relationship with a woman that I love, and I show her affection every day at 4:20.
Fantastic. That's wonderful, man, Santana. And what is the name of your love?
Jessica.
You sounded like you weren't too sure about that.
That's how you say it.
You say it like if
Jessica?
she's a Danish pop star. So
Yeah,
I
it's like
see.
Jessica.
that's how you
See,
have to say
I'm
it.
still learning every minute here. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to our next question here. Do SOBs cry?
I,
Yes. Yes, they
Okay,
do.
well, we'll just take that. Yes. All right.
yeah,
Um,
I would
what
imagine
what
so.
is the most iconic time someone cried in human history?
Have you ever seen Wedding Story?
Wedding Story?
Yeah, it's a movie with Adam Driver in it.
Wedding
And
Story?
yeah, Wedding
It's
Story.
called
And
Wedding Story?
I
yeah,
think you just
it
made
has
up a
Adam
movie,
Driver
man.
in it. Adam Driver and Black Widow, and they're going through a divorce, and he's like, if you died, I would be happy and I'd keep my kid.
Is this like a sequel to a prequel to Marriage Story?
No, it's a,
Wedding Story?
yes, and it's
Did you just rename a movie that already exists?
it goes like this: Serendipity, Wedding Story, Marriage Story.
Okay, all right. My
All right.
answer would be Brutus at the Fall of Rome.
Both equally good answers. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Okay. When this person cries, their roommate can't stop laughing, and they've been thinking of recording themselves crying for about 30 minutes and sending it to Comedy Central. Is that a good idea?
For just an activity, yes. For a TV show, no.
I part-time as a development exec at Comedy Central, so I would love to see this tape, personally. So yes, that'd be great.
All right. Do you want to give that person your email address so they can send it in?
Send it to my people is all I can say. Send it to
Fair
my
enough. All right. Do you believe in banshees and magic? There was a
Jessica's
comma
a
there.
banshee.
Mhm.
I only have attraction to magical people, banshees, wizards.
Is that how your arms got too big for shirts? Is the
Yeah,
is
that's
magic?
exactly what happened. It's all magic. If I could lift my arms to show you, I would, but they're too big.
Can you use like one arm to pick the other arm up and show us?
Yeah, please.
I mean, if they're equally strong, the
That's-
one arm should be able to pick up the other, right?
That's like saying, could the Juggernaut run into the Blob? Whose power would negate the other? Because once the Blob stands still, he can't be moved, and once Juggernaut gets going, he can't be stopped. So
Juggernaut and Blob are characters in Wedding Story. Where are these people from?
if you liked comic books, if you took any interest in our business, you would
I
know.
don't like them. I just sell them. I've told you.
Okay, we don't need to get into the bogged down into your business details. Let's see. Just a couple quick questions here. What is the best cry you've ever had? Just quick answers from both of you.
Every day at 10:20.
Best cry ever was on my wedding day.
Oh
Aw.
boy. Oh brother.
Was
Now I
it
don't
a
wanna be your
wedding
friend.
story?
Huh?
Was it a wedding
I saw
story?
it for 3 hours prior to getting married, and then pulled it together just in time. I was very scared. They were not happy cries, but it was one of the best cries in my life.
Because his wife is a chupacabra.
That is, that's not what we like to the word we like to use, but yes, that my wife is technically a chupacabra.
All right, final question. What are the appropriate cries for lost friendships, and can you demonstrate?
I would say a wistful remembrance. So
Mhm.
you would just like put on some Conway Twitty and just kind of tilt your head like that and then just one tear. If you cry 2 tears, it don't count.
I prefer on a 3-tier approach, but staring out over the cliffs with a light Irish flute on the wind.
That's a good.
Can you
that's
give us a
good
little
cry.
taste of that? How that flute would sound?
Then you just
I'm almost tearing up. That's amazing. That's fantastic. All right. Well, Toggle and Man, thank you so much for coming. We've learned so much from both of you. We really appreciate it.
thank you.
Good
You said our
evening.
names right.
Yay!
All right, we have two more pairs of experts, and I'm very excited to hear what they have to say. So let's bring on our next pair of experts right now.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, Riker and Joyce. Welcome.
What's up, man? Hey, keep it down back there. Sorry.
What do you have a party going on over there?
Well, you know it, Michael. We party every day, and you remember our last one.
Oh,
Remember?
Yeah, you were there.
I remember some of it. That was a crazy time.
We like to party every day.
Every day, 360.
That's right.
That's fantastic. All right, well, let's. I mean, I'm just so excited to have you two come here and present a party, right? So let's just jump right into it.
Oh my gosh, Michael. You know it.
Well, so our expertise, we throw freaking wicked parties, and they're adult parties. So what we're going to talk about today is understanding your teen.
That's right. We know personally a lot about teens because not only are we adults, do we throw adult parties? We were once teens too. And it's important as an adult to know your teens.
Also, you gotta identify them because you gotta kick them out or the police are gonna shut you down.
Yeah, we can't have those mistakes
baby.
made again. Can't have it made again. We don't know.
So I'm talking to you, Alex, out there, next door neighbor. You're 16 only, man. You can't hang. Hey,
You always try.
Slide, baby.
All right. Let's hit it. Adolescence is the hardest stage, the best stage, the most bittersweet stage for a parent to see their child grow. And it's so bittersweet for our neighbors when they see Alex sneaking across the lot into our parties.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we get it. It's tough out there. You're getting picked on every day. You can't do sports very well, but you can chug a lot of liquid. Like, what else is there to do, man? But you can't hang here.
You can't hang here, Alex. Stop coming. Please.
Stop coming. And also, you got to return our cellar door key, man. I don't know how you got a copy.
It's really weirding us out that you want to be with two adults all the time and like all our friends. Like, we know we have the best booze, the best music on the block, but you can't come here. You got to go somewhere else.
We'd love to have you, man. When you turn 21, next slide, please.
Next slide, please.
So let's talk about the adolescent stages. Because you got to know the adolescent stages if you're going to identify any teens trying to sneak down to your jungle juice.
That's very fair, Riker. That's very fair. Let's talk right here about pre-puberty. All right? When you're in pre-puberty stage one, you're really self-conscious, you're anxious. And you're like, when will I grow up? When will I get to go to Joyce and Riker's party, man? I just want to fucking chug beers. I want to chug doobies. I want to smoke a lot of cigarillos.
I want to throw darts with Chet.
Don't
you find Chet in the back tossing darts.
The problem is, you're still prepubescent, man.
You can't hang.
I mean, I think back to when Big Joyce was little Joyce and she was 8, and she was like, man, I think I would love some cigarillos. She had a deeper voice than old Joyce does. She didn't know she would grow up and have a higher voice. She didn't know she'd get to have those cigarillos.
But
she wanted them. You gotta be patient. Let's kick it to the next stage, early puberty.
Early puberty, teens, they're self-conscious and they're anxious. They're like, what's happening to me? And I'm always like, Alex, put that beer down. You already had more than your body weight can handle. Shit, man.
That's right. I mean, you haven't even built up your tolerance yet, Alex. Like, you don't even know. You don't know how much you can handle.
No, man. You shouldn't have any, but like definitely 1 or 2 should be your limit.
Now, Riker, tell me what you were like at early puberty.
Oh, man. Early puberty, I was just like, oh, having a girlfriend would be so cool. But then like a chick would walk into class and I'd be like, I can't talk. Who would have thought that I'd have a real down sick to party chick like Joyce?
That's right, baby. I love you.
Hey, I love you too, but not you, Alex, you old scoundrel.
Let's get out, Alex. All right, let's kick it to mid-adolescence. When you're that social butterfly. Oh, man, you just want to say, who are my friends? What does that say about me? Chet, are you my best friend? No, Alex. Chet isn't your friend. He's too old.
Yeah, you're just trying to toss darts and take Martha home, but Martha never has it. Chet, you gotta stop, man.
Man, I remember my adolescence with little Joyce when she was 16. She was like, where's the Statue of Liberty? Where are the cigarillos? I thought that mid-adolescents would give me these things, and they didn't. They didn't yet. You gotta wait till you're old enough. You can have the cigarillos. You can have it at the Statue of Liberty. Because you got freedom.
Similar experience. I was always like, where's the Eiffel Tower? Where's the Lone Star beer? You know, just trying to live it up.
You gotta live it up.
But hey,
when you're older.
Adolescence, you're gonna hit the identity formation. That's where teens are like, who am I? Well, I'll tell you what, you're not. You're not gonna be knee deep in our cooler, Alex.
You're not gonna show up on mud fight night in our living room, Alex.
No, you gotta be 25 to enter there. That one, we gotta up the age on that night. But after identity formation, you're gonna hit late adolescence. All right. Now, teens in this stage, they're always like, can I have a little more control in my life? Basically, can I have another one? No, Alex, you still need to have a curfew, all right? Even though we're keeping you all night with our loud music.
Yeah, and I mean, we're kind of sorry. No, we're not about the music. No, we're not sorry. We're not sorry. But we're sorry about you can't come in. We're sorry about you can't come in, Alex.
Wish you could, Alex, but you can't. We'll get in trouble. But then you hit post-adolescence, and in this time, teens are like, am I ready to be independent? Look, Alex, we know. It feels like you're grown up. It feels like you know everything you're going to know. You don't. All right? You still got a lot to experience out there. Don't rush your life.
Riker, how are you feeling at this stage in your life?
Me, I feel like I've peaked, and it's all downhill from here. But the peak plateaus for at least a little while. How about you, Joyce?
Oh, well, little Joyce at post-adolescence, she was like, where are the doobies? Where are the drinks?
Honestly, it sounds like you Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not
Let's hit that
Thursday,
next
though.
slide.
Next slide, please.
How can a parent help? Well, Alex's parents, Jacob and Mindy, we're looking at you. How can you help, Alex?
Well, here's the first thing. Come to one of our parties. We've been asking.
You are invited. That's what's
You
great.
are invited. Mindy, I'd love to chat with you over some doobs.
Jacob, your lawn's immaculate. But hey, look, you could pay attention a little bit to Alex and support his identity development. You know, maybe let him have some teams over himself.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe he could have a teen party. I don't know. Maybe it'd keep him from coming to our parties.
Yeah, chocolate milkshakes all around, you know. Friends are important to teens.
Yeah, they're important. Bring the teens to the teens.
Let's hit that next final slide.
Finally, let them soar. Now that you have the skills, let your teens seek independence. Is this the toughest part of being a parent?
Probably.
Probably.
Hey, Alex.
Have no kids, and we don't want any.
We don't want any. I mean, we love to have kids when they're grown up and 21 or 25 on Mud Night.
No,
come on over, but before that,
no babies in here. It's a baby-free zone.
Nope, it's only glitter horses for us. But hey, Jacob and Mindy, maybe it's time you let Alex soar and maybe go over to a friend's house for a sleepover, specifically on Mud Night, so we don't have to keep worrying about sneaking in. All right,
that's right.
Well, hey, that's our presentation. We sure that you fully understand teens now and how to spot them at your party.
Wow, Riker and Joyce, thank you so much. That was really, really detailed and very hyper specific, if you will. So it sounds like, do you talk to Mindy and Jacob at all?
Man, we're trying.
Try to catch a little bit. Usually it's like they have their 9 to 5, they pull up in their car and they just they run pretty quickly up to the front door, it's hard to get a word in.
Oh, and have they served you any legal papers?
I mean, we trade notes, right, Joyce? Like, we'll put like a little flyer. It's like, hey, party tonight, and they'll put like a little flyer that's like, this is your second noise violation.
Sounds like fun
It's
neighbor
usually
stuff.
pretty thick. It's usually pretty thick. But
Yeah, they
you know what?
outline everything we shouted that they think was inappropriate for their 16-year-old to hear. Whatever.
Okay, all right, great. Well, we have a couple questions from our viewers here.
Oh, nice.
First is from Alex. WTF? Why are you adding me right now? RN.
Oh, Alex! Oh my God, showing up to once again another event. Crazy one. Is it not past your bedtime?
I mean, we told your parents about this presentation. We didn't think you'd show up.
Oh man, we put a big old flyer on the front door that said, Mindy and Jacob, please come to our presentation. You might learn something. You weren't supposed to read that, buddy.
All right. Let's see. Next person has, so they say their partner thinks that their endless partying is a sign of immaturity. How do they convince her that it's fine for adults to rail a line now and again?
Oh, here's the thing. If you're a partier, your partner doesn't party, get the heck out.
Yeah.
Get the heck out.
All I got to say is that train has left the station.
And that's a bit of a red flag.
It's a red flag. It's a checkered flag. It's a race over. You're in the loser circle. No champagne for you.
If you do not party, what are you doing?
Dump them.
All right, there you go. Definitive relationship advice. Fantastic. We have another comment from Alex. Why all the Alex bashing?
Oh,
Listen, Alex, we're not trying
buddy.
to bash you. We're just trying to party responsibly and irresponsibly in a legal way.
yeah, man. Hey, we like you actually. Like
You're really fucking cool.
we love to eat dinner and just like we laugh and laugh when you're in the backyard practicing your nunchucks. It's hilarious.
All right. 2 more quick questions. This person wants to know, did you steal their MDMA and disco ball?
Oh, steal? Those are things that can't belong to anybody. I would say that they're universal items.
MDMA and disco belong to the world. I'm sorry. You can't possess it. It just switches hands.
Yeah,
Fair
it
enough.
just goes where the vibe is.
And final question. This person wants to know, can they have an invite to one of your parties? Definitely not a teen.
Oh,
Oh.
hell yeah. You got to join our Facebook events group.
Hold up, Alex. Hold up, Riker.
Oh,
Is that Alex? Did Alex say that?
The screen name doesn't say Alex, but I can't be sure.
Okay.
Assuming you're not Alex, you're invited. But Alex, buddy, you got to start using that noise canceling machine that we sent over.
All right. Well, Riker and Joyce, thank you so much for our this insight into adolescence, and I'll see you at the party later.
Yeah, see you.
Yeah.
All right, chat, darts with me now.
Ready for the mud.
All right. We have one more pair of presenters, and here we have one right now, Spencer Pippins. Hello, Spencer. Welcome.
Hey, hi, howdy.
And Mariella Redding. Welcome.
Hi.
We're so excited to have you tonight to just drop some knowledge on us.
And we have so much knowledge, Michael.
So much knowledge to drop.
Yeah, we're geniuses. I don't think that word gets applied often, and I want to apply it to us.
Oh wow, I'm sorry, that wasn't in my notes. I didn't realize you were both geniuses.
Yes, we're both in Mensa.
It's not an overstatement at all. Actually, it's kind of an understatement.
Yeah, we're actually both in the thing that's above Mensa. The Mensa.
That's amazing. What's it called?
Menses. Not to be confused with the other kind of Menses.
Menses. Wow, interesting. All right. And so do you two have like competing IQs? Do you like have a little competition going or anything?
Well, 146, but she's got me beat.
By half a point. They
Yeah.
actually, when they get up that high, they give out half points. So
Yeah.
I did not know that. Fascinating. All right. Well, I look forward to hearing this knowledge from you two geniuses. Thank you so much for being here, and take it away.
well, yeah, we're so excited to talk about. I think this is like my top favorite subject.
Oh yes, I mean this is something that ever since I was a child, I really threw myself into, and when I met Spencer at dinosaur camp, it was meant to be.
It was. I can definitively say that we know absolutely everything about dinosaurs.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think that that's.
And there's one question that I've had people tell me is subjective, and those people are wrong.
Uh-huh.
And that question is, how cool were they really? That is not subjective. It is an objective question, and we're going to answer it.
It's telling of their IQ, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're talking about the sub 100s. All right, next slide, please. Yeah, okay, so the first one, I have 2 words for you. Spencer has 2 words for you. First word, holy. Second word, shit. Look how cool they are.
Look at that elongated neck. Look at those. Look at that tail. Who doesn't want a tail?
Have you ever gone to a zoo and thought a giraffe was cool? Well, excuse you.
You would love a brontosaurus.
Long-necked creature. Yeah.
And, let's talk about the whispering part. Do you think it is hard to whisper with such a long neck?
Yes, unequivocally yes. It is. So we've run some experiments where basically we're able to simulate what it would be like for extended neck creatures to whisper, and the experiments have shown that it's essentially impossible. You can either blow or you can be quiet. There's no in between. There's no whisper.
Yeah, it's 0 to 100. Because basically what's happening is when you're talking, you have the thought, and it comes as it's coming up the neck. It gets quieter and quieter. So in order for a brontosaurus to actually verbally say anything, it takes a lot of emphasis, and it takes a lot of courage, honestly.
It's all that reverberation going up around the neck. Sound by the time it comes out.
You're so smart. You're so smart. Have I ever told you that?
I would say I'm a 146, so.
I would say you're a 146 and a half.
I know. Well, and you know, it actually is easier to gossip, because if you're a brontosaurus, at some point, if you can't whisper, you don't give a shit. You're gonna gossip from across the entire ravine. So everyone knows the gossip, but you don't care, because everything you say is a whoa, all that reverberation.
Exactly. Actually, dinosaurs were scientifically more truthful because of this, because they had no backstabbing. There was the first backstabbing that happened was way after dinosaurs, and it's because of this. There were no lies.
We've experimented with this in our interpersonal relationships. So when we go to a party, if we want to gossip, we'll just shout it at each other across the room. And we've been mostly kicked out of parties, but I think that it's a lack of understanding.
Honestly, I think that we should try Joyce and Riker's parties, because they sound very accepting.
I think that's our next step for trying to socialize with the humans. You know, when you spend all day with bones, sometimes you miss out on human interaction.
But is it worth the IQ? The answer is yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. 1,000.
Next slide.
Another one of my favies.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got 2 words for you. Take it away, Spencer.
My God.
All right.
That's what stegosauruses are to me.
Yeah. I mean, it is, if I could have designed the perfect creature, obviously I would give it a bunch of spikes up and down its back. How cool is that?
looks so cool, very practical. It would be easy to ride, although I would never ride a stegosaurus because I respect animals.
Yeah, but you can imagine that not only is it an incredible defense mechanism, but if maybe you made really good friends with a stegosaurus, it would make a nice hold on point.
Right, absolutely.
Are they smart? Nope.
Yeah, the walnut-sized brain. That's a fact.
But they don't need to be smart. That's the thing, is they are such good fighters. Just a swoosh with the tail and you're out. They don't need to be smart.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're vegetarians. So
not everybody needs to be above a genius.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they didn't study anthropology, so they don't need to have a 146 or 146.5.
Do you remember when we went to college, they made a major for us specifically?
Yeah, so there was like a regular anthropology, and then there was an anthropology for extra geniuses, and we took that one.
Yeah.
All the classes were much harder.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of wasn't challenging enough for me.
No, it was an embarrassment. Honestly, the extra geniuses aren't good enough. We need super plus geniuses, and our college didn't provide. Anyway, Stegosaurus is also vegetarian. How do they get enough protein to get that big? We don't know. Science can't tell us. We have run simulations, we have run models. All evidence points to the fact that they would have to be not vegetarian, and yet here we have it, the wonder of dinosaurs.
Magic.
Magic.
Truly magic.
Let's take on that next slide. Oh, it's your favorite. It is your favorite.
Spinosaurus is one word you want to say together?
What?
Oh my gosh. So Spinosauruses are actually like the influencers of the time, truly. And I know that their claws, they look a little intimidating, but truly like man's best friend.
Yes.
If
we would imagine anyway. If man met a Spinosaurus, if Spencer met a Spinosaurus, I mean, they replace dogs. Who wouldn't want one of those hanging around the house?
Exactly. Look at this demon lizard. What's not to love? Cute, cuddly,
protective. Instead of stone guard lions, I want a stone Spinosaurus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just.
And anyway, if you're too old to think that's cool, you need to grow up, okay? So if you're sitting there saying my IQ is too high to think dinosaurs are cool, think again. Your IQ is not higher than ours, and we think they're super cool. So reevaluate.
Yeah, exactly. Now, let's go on because I don't want to get too heated. Next slide.
Absolutely. The classic.
It's the only one that people know pretty much.
Pretty much.
Which is a little bit concerning. Pretty much, you know, Jurassic Park much.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen it? Life Finds a Way. Have you seen the movie? I bet you have. And so when we say T-Rex, we want to be clear, we are referring to the same thing as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but T-Rex sounds a little bit cooler.
Yeah, it does. It does. They're little tiny arms. They're huge, largest brain, larger than a human brain in there.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we could only hope that they would be extremely intelligent just because of the sheer size of the brain. So anyway, here are some facts that we're going to spit at you that you can't refute because we're smarter than you. First fact, I mean, come on. Nothing's cooler than a T-Rex. That is a universally acknowledged truth.
It's true. Second fact, Laura Dean's best film.
Yeah, Laura Dern has made a number of very quality films, and none of them will ever top Jurassic Park. Honestly, cinema peaked at Jurassic Park, and as far as I'm concerned, no one ever made a movie since. I don't count any of the sequels.
Truly, I'm personally friends with Laura, and her middle name is Dean, so it's Laura Dean Dern, and she truly another genius, I would say.
Oh yeah, she 150 actually. Not many people know that, but Laura Dern's IQ is 150.
Wow.
Yeah, we tried to talk her into studying dinosaurs, but she was like, I just want to keep making movies, and it disappointed me because I told her that film was dead because Jurassic Park was already made.
And as we all know, disappointment is worse than anger.
Yeah. And frankly, in the films, we actually put in kinda, but we were just rooting for the T-Rex.
Yeah, we were just being modest here. Come on.
I can't think of a better way to die than by T-Rex, and you will never change my mind.
They truly, they're portrayed in the media as monsters, and they're not.
That is the saddest thing. Honestly, like, you can't portray something as being a monster just because it eats other creatures. Because, hello, look in the mirror. Who eats other creatures? People. So unless you're a vegetarian like the Brontosaurus, I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, let's take that last slide. Ready?
Yeah,
Kapow!
I'm out.
I'm out too.
All right, Spencer and Mariella, thank you so much. That was great information about dinosaurs and on Laura Dean Dern. I got a little bonus knowledge in there. Thank you so much.
That actually will increase your IQ by a point, so you're welcome.
Yeah, we've got enough room in our brains for more than just dino trivia. We also have some Laura Dern trivia.
That's fantastic. Do you know what is your favorite musical artist?
No, I don't have one.
Musical artist?
I don't have time for that.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. I apologize.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I'm always learning here as well. So music is off limits. I get it.
I do like the song "Walk the Dinosaur," but I don't pay attention to who wrote it. I only listen to it while I study.
Fair enough.
And sometimes I listen to the Jurassic Park theme song, and that's about it.
Not the soundtrack, just the theme song.
Just the theme song.
When you're a genius, sometimes you find that repetition helps soothe you because there's so many things going on in your brain at once that it's hard to manage them. And so you want to listen to the Walk the Dinosaur or Jurassic Park theme song on repeat.
That makes complete sense. All right. We have a couple questions from our viewers here. What is the worst dinosaur?
It doesn't exist.
The chicken.
The chicken.
As a descendant, it's iffy if you take it. If you don't accept the chicken, then it doesn't exist. Easy.
All right, fair enough. And what is the best dinosaur?
I would say modern day, those living among us, the gator.
The gator.
The gator.
Yeah.
Truly.
You can't tell because you're only seeing waist up, but I lost my leg to a gator, and it was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I remember that. You were so stoked.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a crazy story. And so, is it the gator because they've just longevity? They made it through all of it.
Yeah, they, when the great comet came and the great calamity happened, they persevered. And that's why I willingly gave my leg to a gator, because I felt like I needed to be a part of something bigger than myself.
Kind of like an offering.
You covered it in meat.
Yeah.
Wow,
I also think that, yeah. I also think that, socially, if humans were to have lived as long as gators, we would have killed each other by now. We would have, just been at each other's necks, and gators have such patience. And
an interesting fact, gators have never started a world war, and they've been around for how long?
Something to think about. All right. Let's see. I know you mentioned not really going to parties much. And kind of on that social direction, what is it like dating with such a high IQ?
It's a desert out there. I have exclusively had people that I date leave on the first date. I've never had someone sit through an entire dinner.
Yeah, I think the longest someone's ever stayed with me is they walked up, they go whoop, and then they went back out.
Did they make the whoop sound?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just like the TV show Next, but in real life, and that much more painful. Because at least on the TV show Next, you kind of knew that there was like a little bit of that being done for dramatic effects, but in this case, it was just real life.
Yeah. It was a real legit whoop.
It was a real legit whoop.
Wow. All right. Let's see. What is the most beautiful moment you have experienced with a dinosaur?
Well,
I mean, aside from obviously the leg.
yeah. One time I was at a dig site and I found a little baby dinosaur, a T-Rex, and it was in the fetal position. It was comforting itself. And I wrapped myself around those bones to kind of spoon the baby dinosaur to tell it, hey, it's okay that you died. You're not alone. And I lay there for 5 hours in the sun, and it was spiritual.
Wow. Wow. I have to say, when I found a Stegosaurus's skeleton remains and I kissed down every inch of every bone that I could see, just to try to soothe, that was truly magical, and I felt like we had something special.
Yeah, I did the wistful cry, as was discussed earlier.
Yes.
I did the wistful cry when I saw that.
All right, we have a couple more questions. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the ethics of genetic engineered dinosaurs a la Jurassic Park? Do you want to see them coming back?
Yeah, bring them back.
We're for it. If we had any money, literally any money at all, like quarters, we would invest.
Yeah, I would give my other leg for it.
Wow. Oh, so to be clear, you two don't get paid for any of your dinosaur research.
No.
Absolutely not. It's so before our time, honestly, that I hope in like 1,000 years when we're dug up and people kiss our bones, that they're able to get something out of it.
Yeah, sometimes we do get the occasional child's birthday party gig where we dress up as a dinosaur, and that's pretty much how we get by.
All right, it's good to know. What's the best chicken? You mentioned the chicken was the worst dinosaur. So what's the best chicken? I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like the best, how to prepare the best chicken or just the best chicken in general.
It's kind of a what's the best of the worst kind of question, I think. Best chicken. A chicken's ancestor. Back to the dinosaurs. I can't get that excited about a chicken because it's small and kind of pathetic.
All right, and a follow-up question. If chickens are the worst, then how do you feel about the fact that chickens are descendants of the T-Rex?
It's an embarrassment. And I have to say, I'm gonna give a personal example. So I have a sister who's just a real clunker in life, never amounted to anything. And just because I'm related to my sister doesn't speak badly about me. I mean, her IQ is 115, right? She's an embarrassment. And so just because the T-Rex is related to the chicken doesn't speak bad about them.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in 1,000 years, the chicken, it because it's shrinking so much that, it will be non-existent.
And final question. What's your review of the movie Chicken Run?
I'm actually very pro.
I do like to see chickens scrambling for their lives.
Yeah, I find satisfaction in it. And the claymation, I thought it was done very tastefully.
All right. Well, thank you both so much. It was a wonderful surprise to have two geniuses on the show. So we really appreciate that, your dinosaur knowledge and your Laura Dean Dern knowledge. So thank you again so much.
We will introduce you for our time.
Always a pleasure. And we do children's birthday parties to send a ring.
Okay.
And weddings.
All right. Thank you for watching. That is our show. Really appreciate you tuning in. We do this every third Saturday? Yeah, third Saturday of the month. So tune in again next month. Check out other videos. Please subscribe to our channel. We post new sketches every week, and we also have some other shows coming up, including a new sketch show. All right.